You can call me a truth seeker, or you can call me the streamer's worst enemy. But the end of this video, you will call me La Alpha. Can La Alpha please get a Wazam? It's your boy La Alpha Zam, baby, and I'm here with
Nolly, Dargoat.
Dargoat.
Was good. Was good. Was good.
Hey, what's good, my guy? How you doing today?
Yeah, we vibing, man. We chilling. Today's a good day. It's always a good day. You above ground, you know what I'm saying?
What I'm talking about. Dargo, aka Darren, young streamer on Twitch. Go follow him. You see the name right there. Follow him on everything. It's the same on Twitter and everything, except for a little underscore.
Yeah, it's just like an underscore on Twitter.
Yeah. At the end, middle.
Yeah, like at the end. I tried to get the clean at, but I couldn't. Like, but the account hasn't been used for like 4 years. So I'm like, that's dumb. But it's okay.
Okay. Man, just follow that guy. He's an alpha. Great at Apex. Great Apex player. Up and coming. I think he's gonna stream a little bit more. He's working hard right now. I see him though. Shout out to him. And he came up with an interesting
play
topic.
A lot of stuff. Definitely try to get on Valorant.
Yeah, man. You getting on that Valorant, the Apex. I'm gonna play Valorant with him. So follow me on Twitch too. I might do it on YouTube, so you might see me, but follow him because I'll probably be on his stream more so than mine. Y'all know I don't stream video game. But he came up with an interesting topic. Let's get to the topic. He basically is saying that streaming and esports have made games less enjoyable.
Yes.
Can you explain a little more?
So I feel like so a lot of people SBM, for a lot of people, it's annoying. I get it. I think it's kind of pointless in games too. But I feel like people got to understand that like streaming kind of saturated gaming in general and made it a lot more sweaty, because you got to think back in the day, like when you looked at like Call of Duty videos, right? And you see like Chris moving these people and you're like, dang, they on like machinima and stuff. And like, it's like nostalgic and it's like cool. And it was like certain people was doing content. Now it's like everybody does content. So it's like you get in these lobbies and you're like, it's a TTV here, a YT here. Like everybody streams and everybody has to be competitive. So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, people, to attract people, especially like FPS, you have to be sweaty. Like people like seeing high kills, like really fast gameplay, aggressive gameplay, all stuff like that. But they don't really want to see like, hey, this kid's camping for like 2 kills a game. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. No, like they want to see really good players, you know, a lot of high level gameplay and stuff like that. And it kind of sucks for, I feel like, the average experience, because you can't really get on games anymore and play them just to have fun. Especially if you're streaming, like you competing against other people that's streaming just like you. So, you know, you got to pull them in. Hey, what makes him different? So I want to watch his stream rather than this other guy. Well, this other guy is a little more cracked than this guy, so I'm gonna watch him instead of the guy that's, you know, probably a little more entertaining. You know, how I'm gonna just watch this kid that's like, you know, popping off, getting 20 kills a game, 30 kills a game, you know, some like, you know, stuff like that, which is kind of crazy. But I don't know. It's kind of interesting to me. But I'm not gonna say I like SBM. I don't like SBM. I don't think SBM is really in game. I think in gaming is just kind of just an added bonus for no reason. But I get it from a company standpoint, you know, because they want to make money at the end of the day. And you can't really make money, you know, by the sweats. The sweats don't really spend money on the game. It's the people who work a lot, you know, work a lot of hours during the week. Them is the people that spend money on the game. The people who play the game a lot, they grind the hours, they're not gonna spend money. So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and do you think the effect of longing and needing to be great at a game has been factored into that streaming? Well, like what I mean by that is, you at the beginning of the big streaming splurge with Fortnite, Ninja, Myth, Carriage, they used to get 30, 40 bombs, get millions of views, but without 30 or 40 bomb, they might lose a million or two. Which, if you know YouTube, you on YouTube, you partnered, you'll know that's a lot of money you just lost. Do you think that is some of the anger towards skill-based matchmaking? Or do you think?
I think it is too, because I feel like a lot of kids, you know, a lot of people get on streams and that casual aspect is taken away. You know, they can't really get on stream and be like, hey, I want to talk to my chat. You know, I just want to chill. I want to, you know, just frag and kind of vibe. It's not like that anymore. Now you kind of have to get more engaged in the game. So for most people's streams, it's less about the content creator being able to act with their community. It's more or less their community has to react with the community because the need to be sweaty is so intense. So, I'm getting in these games and people getting in these games, you can't really just be like, hey, I'm in the top 5 situation. I'm just gonna chill, rechat, have a vibe. No, it's like, I got 17 other people in here that's sweating too, just like me, in the same lobby doing the same things, and they coming at my neck. I can't just relax and focus because then I'm gonna end up, dying or something like that. And then I'm gonna get frustrated and stuff like that. And I feel like for a lot of people, I think a lot of people kind of blame SBM, but I think people gotta understand that how gaming is in general, people are just getting better. Like we kind of like in the era that we in now, and with gaming being like so like big, like people just playing more. It's kind of like sports in a sense. You know, if I see somebody at the top doing really good, I'm gonna mimic what they doing, right? I'm gonna add it to my game, right? And then people see me, they gonna mimic what I do, and they add it to their game, and then the list goes on. It's just gonna trickle down, and then at all levels of gaming, people gonna be doing stuff that really you wouldn't thought they would be doing at that level, but they are. So it's just gonna
Yeah.
keep growing. Everybody's gonna keep growing.
Yeah, YouTube videos, how to's, all that, how to Fortnite, how to edit, Apex, like what's the best guns to use. You
Yeah,
study
like
those videos.
Warzone's like an excellent example to me of how it is because you get people and how Warzone is now. I don't really play Warzone, but I keep up with it because a lot of my COD friends play Warzone. I support them. They have like a meta where it's like the DMR and Mac 10 like meta in the game. But I'm like, a lot of these content creators, when you look at their videos and you look at how they play, that's all they use. But they complain about what they use, right? But I'm like, at the end of the day, you can't kind of complain about a meta if you are contributing to the meta too. If you're a big content creator with big influence and you don't think that if you have millions of followers and you make hey, this DMR setup is going to make you a better player, you don't think that your followers and people who watch you don't think they're going to tune into your video and be like, hey, this guy's getting like 50 kills with this gun. Maybe if I use this gun, I can get 30, 20. I'm not really as good as him, but I still can use this to like kind of bridge my gap in the game. Right? Like they're just going to abuse what they can so they can get easy kills and free kills. And then at the end of the day, this person is tired of dying to that gun. So then you got 10 other people who's going to use it because they're tired of dying to it. And then it's going to trickle down. That person is going to kill somebody. And then 10 more people are going to be mad. And then at the end of the day, everybody's just going to be abusing the meta because you have to. That's just how the gap is. But to me, I think it starts at the top. I feel like people, you know, I feel like a lot of people kind of get mad just because of how sweaty gaming has got because they just don't feel like they can step over everybody anymore. And people's not a pushover. You know, I think it's kind of fun to me, like having the sweat in games in certain situations because I feel like it's boring shooting at people that don't shoot back, right? Like it's fun for a certain point, but I think at a certain point, like you gotta want to be great, just defeating great people. And that's in any aspect of anything. I don't want to just beat up on people that's not as good as me or doing any of that. Like, no, I want to challenge the best. I want to beat the best. I want to play against the best people because it's fun. It makes the game more entertaining, more fun for everybody involved. If you win a game, it just feels nice. I don't really feel nice winning games, and I'm like, dang, I just ran through this lobby because nobody else is doing anything. It's kind of boring to me. Stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I got a question about the oversaturation. Do you
Mhm.
think the oversaturation of streamers has, in two things, made games less creative? And do you think the oversaturation also made the want to, basically, it's the same question. You are less creative, therefore you think it's an easy check if you get good at the game. Like, oh, I get
I think it
1,000
is.
subs if I be good at the game, rather than streamers having to actually be creative and innovative in the way. Because people don't realize Dr. Disrespect been doing this a while. XQC been doing this for a while. They done built their personalities, their
Mhm.
strength. And I notice a lot of new streamers don't have said personality or don't even allow themselves to grow into said personality.
Yeah, I feel like with everybody wanting to be streamers, like I feel like everybody they kind of copy a lot of people instead of trying to be their own identity because they look at people as a blueprint as how to grow. You know, they look at like Dr. Disrespect and all these other people and be like, hey, you know, they did this, so this is how I probably should grow now. Instead of people just being original and being themselves. You know, I think originality speaks for itself a lot more than people just copying, hey, this said person, and then I'm gonna just run with this. Like, no, I think at a certain point you kind of just got to bring what your own plate to the table necessarily, and make your own content and grow and branch outside of that. You know, it like streaming. People think streaming is easy, which I can get why people think that. You know, cutting on the stream and playing video games. You know, people are like that's not hard, right? But I don't think people really understanding all the networking and stuff that goes outside of streaming that people really realize has to go on a daily for you to grow. You can't just grow on Twitch. You can't just grow doing YouTube videos. You have to venture out to so many different like medias and really put your name out there. That's really how you grow your content as a person instead of just being like, hey, I'm gonna just stay in this one lane and then I think I'm gonna just blow up just because I'm cracked. You know, there's like 3,000 other people that's good at the game too, right? Out of those 3,000 people, who am I gonna watch? I'm gonna watch the most entertaining person out of those 3,000 because at the end of the day, I don't just want to watch somebody who's just solely focused on being good at the game, that they don't talk to chat, they don't interact, they don't do little things that make people want to come back. You know, and I think that stuff contributes to people's communities too. I feel like if you have a good community, that really helps with growth and stuff too. You know, you got to kind of watch who's in your community too, because a lot of people can get turned off by who's in your community or what people do in your community and stuff like that. So I think stuff like that's really important too to like look at.
Yeah, some people looking at us like, what are y'all talking about this? What do you know? First off, we mod, me and Darian, Dargoat, mod for a lot of people that's doing that and growing a community fast.
Mhm.
So you see it. I'm growing a YouTube, and trust me, YouTube is that 4,000 hours is so hard to get to.
Yeah, it's rough. That's a lot of hours.
That's a lot out. That's 166 days that
And
people watch you.
that's dedication.
That is a lot of hours. So doing stuff like this, you see it, you think it's easy, you think I can do that, but it's really more into it, more in depth. And that's also why I say I understand when streamers get upset with skill-based matchmaking or something like that, because you feel this constant pressure. And I'm gonna let Dargo explain a little bit more of this, but you feel this constant pressure to be good at games. And at the same time, you got thousands of other people that are good at games, and they match you with them. And with that pressure adds on to more
stress,
anxiety, anxiety and stuff like this. So when big streamers say they hate skill-based matchmaking, I understand it. They can't. When games are early in and they are good at them, they get 40, 50 kills a game. Their viewership on YouTube is in the thousands. Their views are probably up, but then when everybody catch up, it's kind of
yeah, you know, it starts like steeping down a little bit, you know. And I think like stuff's either and this can lead to a lot of people, hey, I want new games to come out, right? And they want new games to come out because they want the feeling of people being trash at first. When a game comes out for so long and then the skill gap starts to decrease because these companies do it and stuff like that, it can get annoying because after a while, you know, I'll take Apex for example, because Apex is like the best example of this. Apex has gotten so sweaty over the like it's a little under 2 years that it's been out. It's got so sweaty. Like it's crazy to think how the game used to play, depending on like when you got into it to how it is now. And it's mainly because everybody's starting to get better. And I feel like once people start to get better, it annoys a lot of people because, you know, they feel like they aren't good enough because, hey, maybe I was getting 15 kills, you know, every so often, but now, you know, I'm on stream. I don't feel like I'm doing too high because I'm only getting 10 or I'm only doing this and that, you know, and I can see why people's frustration with it. You know, I'm not saying that skill based, I don't like skill based matchmaking. I don't think it's really something that should be in the game personally because I feel like to even get better, you have to go through like the trials and tribulations of really going through it. You know, I didn't get better at Apex just because I was playing against people at my quote unquote skill level that was probably as bad as I was at the time. I got better because hey, I went against people, you know, like the really big streamers that was really good at the game and they just kept killing me over and over and over. But that fueled me to want to be better because I'm like, hey, I want to be at the same level as these guys. I really want to challenge these guys instead of just me being like, okay, well, I'm gonna get defeated because this guy keeps killing me. Like, no, You know, I took the months, I took the time, the dedication, I grinded, to really get good at the game. And be like, hey, I'm at equal footing with some of these guys, and I can hang with them now. And it feels good. It feels really rewarding to see your gameplay pay off and stuff like that when you're playing against guys like that. I don't think it's really entertaining for me as a standpoint that would just watch you kill 15 bots in a game. Personally, I just think that it's a little more entertaining with, hey, you got these Twitch streamers in here, and then you can see how the chat kind of reacts when you kill streamers and stuff like that. And they're like, "Oh, yo, you just killed so and so," and stuff like that, and they get hype and stuff like that. Um, stuff like that. But I don't know. I just feel like people kind of overreact to SBM a lot, and people kind of understand that these companies, they're not going to tell anybody about how SBM stuff like that works. But these companies, they got to make money at the end of the day. I don't think these companies really care about the sweaty people who play the game at all. They're just like, hey, what can we do to really bring in more cash flow for us? To make sure that we got our company keeping the flow and stuff like that. And they're like, hey, if we see that our player base that isn't as good keeps dying to that 1%, well, let's make it so that 1% is going against that 1% more often so that the other guys can have fun and stuff like that. And I see it from that standpoint, just like everybody else.
Yeah, I wish there would be more a little clear on how skill based matchmaking goes. And that final point is, how do you think? How many people have you seen quit games because they weren't good at it? I've noticed it a lot, and I've heard kids in Fortnite or whatever game I play. If I get on randomly, I don't play games often, but when I do, they get on there, and the first thing they like to announce to me is that, "Oh, I'm not good at this game." Like quickly, just so like don't be mad at me. And I kind of feel like that saddens me in a way that you have to announce that to me.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of enjoying the game, you just have to announce it. Like, it's a kid on. There was a kid on some game. He told me I'm not good at the game. He said people get mad when I'm not good at the game, and I'm like, is that why skill based? Because I used to be on the. It's stupid to have it, but then when you hear a kid that say I'm new to the game, please don't get mad at me. He said somebody was yelling at him. I'm like, is that why?
Yeah, I've seen it happen a couple times where like people will be a little newer and then like people just yell at them, and it's not even because the person may be bad or anything like that. It's just because they're new, and stuff like that is kind of sad. And I see why, from that perspective, why SBM and stuff is in the game.
Yeah. So
But I feel like it's generational though, like really wanting to give up quick. Because I feel like back in the day, because COD has been around for a minute. I've never really heard anybody play COD and be like, "Oh, I want to give up on COD because I'm not good enough."
oh yeah,
I didn't really hear that a lot.
I was trash at COD, and my friends just had fun. They made fun of me for being trash. It wasn't even like no mean thing. It was like, hey, be bait.
Yeah, it was just funny.
Yeah, be bait.
Yeah, but it was like cool. It worked out, right? Because your friends ain't
Yeah.
making you want to be serious at the game. It's like it's cool. It's fun for everybody around. Like, hey, I'll suck at the game, but I just suck, right? Like you just playing with your friends, hanging around.
Yeah, they'd be like, Trev, go be bait. And
Like that
yeah,
made it fun though, and that's when
yeah,
gaming was fun.
yeah.
But I feel like everybody nowadays, they put expectations on themselves, and they're like, well, if I'm not trying to be in this tier 1 org, or I'm not trying to be a pro level gamer or stuff like that, or get into esports or get into streaming, people feel like they're bad. Well, I mean, that's not necessarily the case. I think you can grow at any skill level as a streamer. I think as long as the streamer is funny, that's all that matters at the end of the day. I don't think people, you get the people that watch for like the hardcore skill and stuff like that. But I think at a certain point, you got to really sit down and be like, hey, I have to be entertaining for me. I can't be entertaining just because I'm cracked at the game, or I'm this good, or this and that, or I'm this top 1%. Like, no, that doesn't attract people. I think being yourself, being original, having a natural personality, that attracts a lot more people way better than just because you're good at a game. And people kind of blame SBM for them I feel like people just use SBM as an excuse for not being good at games in general anymore, in my opinion. I feel like some people, they'll look around and be like, man, SBM is really ruining my day on this game. But I'm like, maybe you just aren't as good as games as you used to be, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. And I feel like a lot of people probably would never admit that or say that to anybody, but I feel like it has happened a lot over the years, and it kind of sucks to see. You want to see everybody be happy gaming and stuff like that, but I feel like you just got to be happy with yourself and where you're at with your skill level and stuff like that. And just excel there and try to find happiness into it. Streaming is for everybody, but sometimes you just got to find your right niche and stuff like that.
It is true. As you said, you got to find your own path. Maybe you were good at games, but people caught up. So it's all that too.
Exactly.
By the way, I want to thank you for being on the YouTube video with me. A mini little podcast. We're gonna start doing more of these with friends. And if you disagree with Dargoat, feel free to come on and state your opinion. I'm willing to have you on. State your opinion, ask you questions, get your opinion on this. That's what it's about. That's what the overall 99 ENT channel is. We want to bring provocative thought. And my guy brought a very provocative thought. Remember to follow him right here if you like him. He streams on Twitch. He's gonna start a little bit more. His PC coming soon, yes, so we're excited about that.
Yes, sir.
You'll see me on with him playing Valorant, I guess, soon. So we looking forward to that. And my boy HD Ifa. Any shout outs you want to do before you leave? Darren?
I mean, just shout out to everybody, man. Everybody, that believes in me. All my friends, all the people. Shout out to Young Lady, Young Alpha, of course, for having me on. I'm always appreciative. It's my first interview ever or having anything like this. So it's nice, just to get out there a little bit more. Shout out to Alpha, shout out to Mina creating this beautiful community for everybody. A lot of people that have a platform and stuff like that. Shout out to Bliss Kai, the best friend. She put me on to a lot of this gaming stuff. And, I've seen her career grow, especially on Twitch, inside and out. And I've had the pleasure of being her friend for 3 years. And it's been a blast. So, it's made me open my eyes to how gaming in this industry really can work out. So, man, shout out to everybody, man. I love everybody for real.
Shout out to the family, the whatever name we are this week, because she changed her name. But yeah, man, I appreciate you for being on. Appreciate your perspective. We want to do more of these. So if you're in the comments, you disagree, let's go. That's what it's about. You ain't supposed to agree. We human beings.
Facts.
Also, like I said, remember to keep stopping. In the gaming industry, anything, you might start off small. It might seem like it's impossible, but you never know. Today, something amazing can happen. Peace.